tracks of all the hits for you, and the only thing you need to do is at some point in your application to do a dispatch. So it means, okay, all this data that's on the phone, at some point, send it back to Google server. And when you leave the application, just stop the tracker so that the phone battery is okay. So that's basically it. That's about the coding. So it's very, very simple to do, and you've got the same kind of functionality on the iPhone. So as I say, in 5 minutes you're done. There is no excuse to do it. Do it from scratch when you start a new application. So this is the weather forecast application. I will show you, as you see, I do a lot of new version as I'm solving small bugs. And that's why I use analytics in the first place. But you can track other stuff just for the fun. But also maybe if you do an application for a client, that's the kind of things he would like to see. You know, how many visits, how many unique visitors, screen size resolution, for example, here. I started to see some Nexus 1 coming in Belgium. I think you've got the HTC Tattoo is a small screen phone. It's important also to support these small screens. Then you can see, that's what I said in terms of content, what kind of functionality people are using within your application. For me, this was the important one. I wanted to promote other Belgian apps, so other apps that have Belgian content. But in the beginning of the application, I didn't invite my users to use the menu button, so people were just using the finger and never the menus. But when I added a simple line at the bottom of the information, please use the menu if you want to have more access to more content. Just adding this simple line, I realized people then would go to Belgian apps and would start to use that part of the application. See? Touching the menu button opens up that menu, and there I promote other applications for Belgian content. And it's just because I added one line and using analytics that I learned that some part of my application was not used enough. So have fun doing some Android application. If you need any help, you can always contact me on Twitter, Hubert22, or put my private email there. Thanks a lot.
Question: how do you get?
It's for our online viewers.
Okay, question. How do you get paid apps to work being a Belgian? Because in Belgium you cannot order paid apps, nor can you develop paid apps. How did you do that?
Well, my paid apps are for everybody on the world, so it's true that the ones paying for my apps are usually from the US and the UK. As a developer, I put it on the market. I do it through the French market. So you need to link to a French company or account and stuff like that. Because it's true that the Belgian market is not open. So I do it through France. And to my knowledge, in the European Union, you should be free to do service anywhere in any country. So I'm doing it. If there is at some point someone that says, hey, you go to France, you're a French citizen, no problem, but I'm taking the risk.
Play Now Arena? Play Now Arena? Sony Ericsson launched the Play Now Arena, also in Houston. Well, they're sponsoring.
I've been also contacted by Orange and all these other markets, but for a developer it's so easy to do your upgrades of versions. You cannot, it's just too much time to follow all these different markets. I just put it on the Android market and that's it.
I was wondering about the location part of your applications. I'm just familiar with Google Analytics on websites, and there they have your IP address, and using IP to geo databases, they can determine your location. I was wondering how it works here. Do they use the IP address as well? Because then how do you get those detailed maps of users everywhere in Belgium? If people are using like 3G, then it should be the IP address of your provider. Or does the Java library use, which which is in the client, does it sense the location from the device's hardware and send it to Google Analytics directly?
I didn't dig enough to answer the question 100%, so I'm sorry. And what I've realized is that it's not 100% the accuracy on the map of these dots is not that good. I think they take the IP address. For example, when I connect from home and I test on the debugger and everything, even if I'm south of Louvain-la-Neuve, sometimes I see that, because of course when I debug, so I do a lot of connections, so I can see that the dots should be close to Louvain-la-Neuve, but sometimes it's more Senef or Nivelles, which is far away from my house. So the precision on the map is not that great. Maybe on the phone, then I know that when you activate, either GPS or Wi-Fi connection, at some point they ask you, do you authorize us to use some data for Google in general? So you have to accept that when you set up the phone. So I guess it's on the phone level. At some point they interact with their servers, but I didn't dig more.
The application has to ask for access. Then.
Not the application.
You have the permission.
Yeah.
If you don't grant the permission, then you don't get access to more range.
Yeah, the application itself, within the permission, you see internet connection and you see internet core access. That means you authorize the application to use your location.
Okay.
But that's about it. It stays kind of anonymous. You don't track your mobile phone number or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just anonymous stuff.
But it is your device that is making requests to Google Analytics directly. It's not like your server side.
No. I've got nothing on. My application is Google takes care of everything. I have no server.
Because
my application was published by Google.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you experienced anything from the users that they don't like that you use Google Analytics? So it doesn't matter whether you include it or not. Users are ignorant. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally, if you use Google Analytics, you should put in the disclaimer of your application, I'm using Google Analytics. Do you accept the error? Honestly, I've never seen that into any Google application. But you're supposed to do that in the disclaimer of your application. Like it's a little bit annoying for users, but I never experienced anything like that.
But then if, for example, you have this Pokemon game, and you're asking for internet access, or the application asks for internet access, I mean, people don't understand why this Pokemon game needs internet access. Oh.
Yes, because, for example, into that game, there is a share functionality, so share that game to your friends.
Okay.
So there it opens up Twitter or email, whatever, so you need some internet connection. But it's true that your users are free to install your application, yes or no. If they don't like the permission, there is a long list of permission, then a lot of people are scared when it starts to access your phone number or whatever, then people are scared, they don't install it, they are free not to install it. When you ask just internet access and core location, usually people install it. If they don't, well, that's the market. They are free to do it. Next one.